Hey y'all, welcome back to yet another episode of What's Cookin' with Will Graves. Today for episode 4, we're going to tackle a comfort food classic. Meatloaf came into prominence during the Great Depression as a means for families to stretch out ingredients further. Me? I just like mushing a bunch of stuff together. As far as ingredients go, you're going to want all this stuff right here. I've got 2 pounds of ground beef, soy sauce, ketchup, eggs, and the usual seasonings, along with breadcrumbs. Altogether at Aldi, this is about $15 to $20 for all this stuff, but you're only going to use 1 pound of beef and 1 egg. Don't forget these onion crispies, these are also important. As far as hardware goes, I'm not actually using a loaf pan, just a normal tray here with foil, a mixing bowl, and a rubber spatula for now. First, go ahead and preheat that oven to 350 degrees. We're going to start by getting 1 pound worth of beef into our mixing bowl. Then we'll gracefully crack a single egg into the bowl. I then break the yolk and mush it a bit before mixing the meat and eggs with some breadcrumbs, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. Then I'll add a tiny bit of soy sauce and a generous squirt of ketchup in there before mixing it together with clean hands. Now make sure to cut your nails before you do this, so don't be gross. After everything is together there, wash your hands and fold some more ingredients into the mix, starting with breadcrumbs. We're going to mix it together further with the spatula until the mixture feels firm, like you could mold it into something, think of like Play-Doh. If you find that you've added a lot of crumbs, just throw a pinch extra of the ingredients from before to even it out. Now spray that tray so it don't stick, and then take the mix out of the bowl onto the tray. We're going to mold our meat into a loaf, sort of like building a sandcastle. You can have some fun with this, just make sure everything is tightly packed. Once we like how our loaf looks, set a timer for about 45 minutes and stick that loaf in. Now I ended up eventually having to do 5 extra minutes when it came out, so 50 is probably more accurate. While it cooks, we're going to mix some ketchup with soy sauce, a tiny bit of mustard, and our seasonings from before. This sauce will be our glaze for the meatloaf when it comes out. Now once it's out, we're going to give the loaf an even rub of our sauce and top it with onion crispies before sending it back in for another 5 minutes to crisp that top layer. When the meatloaf comes out, the onions will be nice and toasty, with our ketchup glaze nice and crisp as well. Time to plate. Now don't worry about those tasty looking mashed potatoes and green bean casserole there. I will get to those sides for another week's show. Now overall, this recipe is a simple classic. Ketchupy goodness with a perfect crispy texture on the outside and a nice inside that avoids the mushy reputation meatloaf often has. Make sure to give this one a try, and I hope you all enjoy.